Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today I thought I'd update you at the end of day 1 of the Operation Shipyard event, basically where I am, how I'm feeling about the event, and general thoughts. But before we start this, there is a little bit of news that I just want to bring up in this video. Because it's German Unity Day, Gaijin are giving away a really cool decal, this Brandenburg gate decal, and you can actually find it if you go to Customizations, Decals, and it should be in the Specials section if you have unlocked it. So it's right here. This is what it looks like. I think in-game it looks absolutely stunning. It is a beautiful decal, of course, of the Brandenburg gate with the German flag behind it, and it's just wonderfully contrasted, really lovely. And all you have to do to get this is you just have to, between now and the 5th of October, 7 GMT, you have to play 3 battles and get an activity of 60% or higher with German vehicles of rank 3 or higher. So that's all you have to do. You don't have to win, you don't have to get kills, you don't have to do anything like that. You just have to be able to play rank 3, Germany or higher. So something like this lineup, which is a disgracefully nice lineup. The Ersatz, the Panzerbefehlswagen 6 and the 288C, just run that for 3 games, make sure to get a few kills, get a few caps, and you'll have yourself the wonderful decal. So, moving on from that to the grind itself. The Shipyard event, as you can see, this is how much I have done, and I also am not just done here. I still have some parts left. The only thing that's really limiting me, as you can see, is the time, this assembly thing. And it seems like every part of this, it starts off at 30 minutes to be able to assemble these parts. And once you get these things here, the production pieces that you can see up here, then it starts going down. So you can see that I have the 3 production pieces for the right-hand side. So when I assemble a right-hand side piece, it goes down to 21 minutes to assemble each one. Now I thought this would be kind of annoying because you're waiting around for stuff to assemble, but the thing is you don't have to. What you can do instead is just play games. So while stuff is assembling, you just go play more games and earn more parts. One of the problems when it came to the Battlefield Engineer event is you'd be sat there constantly clicking stuff over and over and over again, and it felt like you were spending more time out of battle than actually in battle because of the fact that you were just constantly clicking through stuff. Where this system, it's a hell of a lot more linear, it makes a hell of a lot more sense, and it has this wonderful assembly scheme which is really nice on top of it. And because of that, it basically means that assembling these, you can just click assemble, then go and play a match, then come out of it, see if it's ready. If it's not ready, then you go into the next match, and so on and so forth. So you end up assembling stuff, like you assemble a piece, and then as that piece is assembling, you are then earning parts for the next piece to assemble. So this just makes the flow of the event a hell of a lot easier when it comes to what's going on. Also in the first day, I've got 85 of the ship blueprints. I haven't been doing too well in the first places. You can see I've only got 7 so far, and that was basically because I've just been grinding these horrific Chinese vehicles. Basically, I started off with the T-34s just to get them spaded, then now I'm sat doing the Type 63, which I'm just having a horrific time with. But also I played a few games in the Boston as well, just while if I was crew locked in the Chinese, just to try and get this emblem of the 11th Fighter Squadron. As I said, if you get bored during the event or you're struggling to find lineups to use, just make sure to do these here. Make sure to do the weekly decals, which I'll go through tomorrow, and what nice lineups to use. So when it comes to the actual building, at least on the first ship, which is what I'm on right now, I am liking it. I think generally the system itself is working pretty well. It makes a lot of sense how it works. You play 10 minutes, you get a shipping container. That shipping container has either metal materials or support materials or both inside of it. Plus every 10 minutes you get a blueprint, and you use these two to be able to build any of the schematics right here. Once you put the schematic together, it takes time to build, and then you move on to the next one. So even though a lot of people are seeing the assembly time as a limiting factor, it's not a limiting factor because you can just grind while it's happening anyway. So yeah, you don't have to worry about that too much. The interesting thing though is the productivity stuff, these little ideas here which increase your production efficiency, and there's the only only reason for these is that it gives you a little bit, it takes less time to build stuff, and to be honest, overall that doesn't seem to matter in the grand scheme of things. The one thing I am worried about though is there are 3 tabs here. So you've got the assembling, the MBK 161 tab, which you see here, then you've got the new productions tab, which you can see here. And then you've got this production enhancements. Now, these are the ones, at least on the Battlefield, sorry, not the Battlefield Engineer events, but if you actually read it in the Operation Shipyard, this is where it gets a little bit dodgy, and why tomorrow, when I start the second boat, because right now, if I just look at my assembly, since I have these parts here, once I have this built, I'm already ahead. Like, I have enough parts to build this, and this. So technically, I only have to get 4 parts worth of things, and I also have enough ship blueprints. So it's only going to take me maybe a few games tomorrow once I wake up to be able to finish my first MB161. So we're actually pretty, we're on pretty good speed right now when it comes to creating this machine. But the line which worries me is this one. So after each assembly of the MBK-161, you will receive 2 enhancements that increase the production efficiency by further speeding up the assembly of parts. You will be able to get 6 enhancements, 2 after each of the first 3 assemblies. Improvements will not be lost after the boat is assembled. They can be traded on the market. And then it talks about, the other, assemblies and stuff like that. And it says, by assembly of the second and subsequent boats, the principle will not be changed, but for assembly, advanced materials and not basic materials will be used and may also be obtained from the shipping containers. So that is where I'm worried, because we've got the metal materials, we've got the supporting materials, but this advanced material idea, that is where I'm a little bit worried, because there is some form of ultra rare status that you can see on these production enhancements. So we'll see tomorrow what that is looking like. But right now, at least if you look on the market, the limiting factor seems to be the blueprints, and will be the blueprints going forward. But I'm worried that just like the Battlefield Engineer event, when you hit that 4th vehicle, you hit a brick wall when it came to the rare parts. I'm worried that when it comes to these advanced materials, we're going to see something very similar, and I'm just not in the mood for that at all. So hopefully tomorrow it will be all okay, it will be the same as today. If it isn't the same as today, then all hell's going to break loose, because I am not going to be happy. As I said in the critique video, I believe the Battlefield Engineer event was tailored to be very, very bad for the general player, and if the same mechanics are brought into this, I'm going to be very, very sad when it comes to everything. But the general layout of the event, the fact that you can use rank 2 vehicles and above is very nice. The fact that you have a lot of freedom in what you can do and you only need 50% battle activity, that's all good. The other limiting factor, though, is of course blueprints. Now, it is kind of nice that they've actually put the amount of blueprints you need for the first places in battle, but it also shows you the scale of what you have to do. As you can see, you have 11 days in order to get 400 first places, because you need 240 first places for, and just to clarify. So if you're only interested in getting the VT-12, or also getting, because you can actually see the vehicles here, which is kind of nice. If you're only interested in getting 2 of these vehicles instead of the 4, this doesn't affect you, so you don't have to worry. But if you want to get all 4 of the vehicles, you have to get 400 first places in 11 days. So we're talking here about what, like, what even would that be? 300, well, about 36 or maybe 38 first places a day. So you have to play at least 36 matches a day and also get first place in all of them. That seems to be the massive limiting factor that's going to happen in this event, and it's kind of sad when you think about it. But once again, we'll see if that is going to affect, because that will start affecting us on the fourth build of the machine. You know, the fourth build of the MBK 161. We'll see if this changes, or if maybe the blueprints dropped, changes slightly. But I think 400 first places in 11 days is completely insane. Even though it's one of those things where it's like, can you do it? Yes. Is it probable that you do it? Hell no. And that is going to be the problem when it comes to it. But it has been nice grinding through the Chinese tech tree, even though I haven't had the best time when it comes to some of the vehicles. I can't stand the ISUs. The Type 63 is a great scout, but when it actually comes to killing tanks, as you can see, 4 kills, 16 deaths, because I've basically been using it as a scout and trying to get that heat FS. But it's been okay to grind through. It's been very sad playing the Mosquito, because obviously this is better than the British version, and it just makes me wish we had an out-and-out fighter version of the Mosquito and an out-and-out bomber version of it in the British tech tree, but that's unfortunately not the case. And also, the fact that we do have these new tech trees, though, means that I can grind them out while I'm doing this event. So that is lovely. That is really nice. And the fact that I'm not putting too much pressure on myself to get the first places, I think is only going to help me in the long run. So from the grind perspective, it's been alright. You know, hanging out in the Tech Hub Discord, talking to people, listening to people, having a good gaff about things, and you know, just having fun when it comes to a lot of stuff. And when it comes to playing the game, you know, it's been pretty simple. I think over the next few days there's going to definitely be burnouts, and tomorrow I'm going to have to make a bunch of videos, so I'm going to be a little bit more limited on time. But when it comes to the event itself, you know, I am looking forward to continuing it. Today was good. Hopefully tomorrow is good as well. And, well, c'est la vie. We'll see how it goes. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank Ambrosius McClellan, B. Young, Blackie, Daniel Stanton, John Ryman, Joseph Anders, Martinez, Mopar 1969, Moxie, Super Cacti, Uyins Terry, and Elove Goats, and of course Seductive Trash Can for supporting the channel.